When this form first dropped, the amount of pure hatred that was given for it was atrocious. Oh my god, why is it called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan if Goku's already a Super Saiyan God? Shouldn't it be called Saiyan God? After rereading the Super Manga and how Toyotaro establishes this form, I have to say that Super Saiyan Blue is the best transformation we've gotten since the likes of Super Saiyan 2. And it may sound silly, but please let me break down what Super Saiyan Blue actually is before debunking the main points. Now, Super Saiyan Blue is the power of the Super Saiyan God form stacked with Super Saiyan 1. Due to God Ki being a generally new concept for Goku and Vegeta, this means like back when they first used Super Saiyan, they can only sustain the form's full power super early on in the fight. But with God Ki, it seems like because of how hard it is to even attain it in the first place, flickering with this power gives the user an insane stamina drain. We see this when Vegeta flexes Blue off to show Cabba a path to power, and because of this, when he fought Hit and used Blue, he was only fighting at 1/10 of the power of a Super Saiyan God. And Goku, unlike Vegeta, decided to savor Blue's full power to the very end, which allowed him to effectively counter Hit's timeskip. This arc first shows off Blue's potential flaw, which is then further capitalized in the next arc, that being the Goku Black Saga. And also, I didn't realize Goku timing Blue at the time of Hit's timeskip is actually foreshadow for the future of Super Saiyan Blue and where Toyotaro takes this form. Now, in the Goku Black arc, Vegeta would just straight up embarrass Goku Black, but because of him not only growing in power but also Blue's ridiculous stamina drain, it wasn't long before Black caught up to Vegeta, and to the point where even Vegeta, right after eating a senzu bean, can clash with Black for only a few hits before losing a lot of energy. And yes, you can say Black was getting a lot stronger as the fight was going on, but there is also the factor of Blue not really lasting very long. And because of this, along with Goku Black discovering his version of Super Saiyan Blue himself, Vegeta would unfortunately lose, but we would see him returning for a rematch. And after emerging from the hyperbolic time chamber, we see that Vegeta actually learned a new trick. Initially, it looks like Vegeta just got so much stronger that he's beating up Black or contending with him with Super Saiyan God, but in reality, Vegeta, the moment he's throwing the attack in Super Saiyan God, switches into Super Saiyan Blue for a second and turns it off after the attack lands. This way, he removes the problem of Blue's full power dropping in a long-term fight while also maximizing the amount of damage he can do consistently. It's a really clever detail that I think gets dropped a little too fast, but this is not technically mastered Blue anyway. If Vegeta is fighting someone who's just straight up stronger than his Blue form, then there's really no point in doing the switching, since the opponent can just drop him before that happens, which is what we see with Zamasu folding both him and Goku in their Blue forms. So this technique in reality was just a temporary resolution for the Super Saiyan Blue problem, and we see Zamasu folding the both of them at the same time and believing that there was no future for Super Saiyan Blue. But that's when we see Goku power up and seemingly absorb the leaking blue aura that Super Saiyan Blue emits, allowing him to use Super Saiyan Blue's true power, since he's not just turning it on for a second, but rather actively using its full power. Mastered Blue works similar to Blue Kaioken, where his body can't sustain the form for too long. We also see Goku as the fight goes on that the aura is trying to leak out of his body, but he's trying to control it, which I find really cool. And after this, we'd see Blue seemingly be perfected, and even Vegeta before the Tournament of Power attained the same power. So you'd think, alright, Goku and Vegeta, now let's see what the next step is for them. And this is where, in the point of the video, I'm gonna have to just stop solely talking about the manga and how good that version of Super Saiyan Blue is, as I need to briefly talk about the anime version. You see, Vegeta and Goku in the anime don't have mastered Super Saiyan Blue. Rather, they gradually just get control of the form, and this leads into Goku using things like Blue Kaioken, and Vegeta in the Tournament of Power would discover Blue Evolution, which was pretty much the perfected Super Saiyan Blue equivalent for the anime. And mind you, these forms came out before the Tournament of Power for the manga was fully out, so you just assume that the anime and manga, especially after the Goku Black arc, that they are simply different continuities and should be taken as different versions of the character. However, since the majority of Dragon Ball fans can't read, this led into Toyotaro trying to keep the manga and anime more connected, which led into Goku using something that has the same principle as Kaioken. I mean, in the wiki, it's considered Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, but in the color, we don't see the red aura. And Vegeta just gets Blue Evolution because he wants to protect Cabba, even though the entire time in the manga, they don't even interact. Again, Toyotaro only did this because Dragon Ball fans cannot read. And because of specifically Blue Evolution, I mean, Goku doesn't really use this Blue Kaioken all that much. Super Saiyan Blue was kind of put on the back burner, and especially with things like Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego now, yeah, Super Saiyan Blue was just kind of power cliffed and left in the dust because there was another power for these characters to reach. However, the progression to Super Saiyan Blue, at least for the manga, is really cool, and I mean, granted, the anime does do some cool things with the form. I really like Blue Kaioken and Blue Evolution specifically in the anime. It's just the manga versions of those forms just suck. However, I will say the consistency for these characters mastering Super Saiyan Blue in the anime is kind of laughable. But I do think the foundation of Super Saiyan Blue, and at least the introduction of it to the anime, or basically the ROF episodes that don't include Frieza or anything on Earth, and specifically Goku and Vegeta on Beerus' planet, are really entertaining. But with all that aside, let me address the stupid complaints or debunking all the hate towards Super Saiyan Blue. The first big one is, it's a form for selling toys. I'm not gonna lie, this is the equivalent of, oh yeah, a fan base made me drop a show. Like, bro, you can apply this to literally anything, and of course you're gonna apply it to something especially like Dragon Ball, which is one of the most popular mangas ever made and is notorious for the many transformations characters undergo. Of course they're gonna have something related to Super Saiyan with the return of fucking Dragon Ball. Hello? What form did you want them to do, bro? Did you want Super Saiyan 4 to come out? Like, come on, bro. Now, if you said this in 2015 or when the movie came out and there was nothing else driving Dragon Ball Super, then you know what? Maybe I might have said something, because these forms literally come out of nowhere in the movie. But I mean, if you're using the ROF movie still as an honest interpretation of ROF, I don't know what to tell you. The next complaint is, oh, it's inconsistent. But to be honest, this is more of an anime problem, specifically with the basic Super Saiyan Blue form, but we do at least see them gradually gaining control. It's just not really well earned, like, at all. But again, it led into other forms like Kaioken Blue and Blue Evolution showing up, and these forms in the anime are actually cool. The next and final complaint is, oh, the name is dumb. That comment I showed you at the beginning, bro, as ironic as I want it to be, bro, I'm not even gonna re-record this. I'm gonna leave this uncut. What? The Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan name is silly, but it was intentional on Toriyama's part, bro. The manga and anime both pointed out. The manga as well just sticks to calling it Blue and Perfected Blue anyway. In my opinion, the hate towards Super Saiyan Blue purely stems from ROF's horrible introduction to the form, and it left a permanent stain on the form that makes it hard to appreciate it. But in all honesty, ROF is just bad in general and is a contender for the worst arc ever in Dragon Ball, so that being Blue's introduction doesn't make it look good. And even the anime's version of the arc doesn't do it any better, but we do at least see the anime and manga having a foundation for the form, and make the form at least not just lazy and come out of left field, like for example, Super Saiyan 3. As raw as I believe this form to be and how much aura Goku, like, I don't think Goku's ever had as much aura as he did whenever he was in Super Saiyan 3, but this form literally, besides the aesthetic and just the aura, it amounts to nothing, bro. Super Saiyan 2 as well is a form that's just kind of forgettable after the Cell Saga, and really most of the forms are just cool looking and don't drive the story all that much. Cough cough, Broly's Super Saiyan form and Super Saiyan 4. But unlike most forms that people like and praise, Blue is a form that actually has narrative depth, and it's unfortunate that the power cliffing of the series led into the form not being used as much. Ultra Instinct and Ego took over the scene as the new go-to full power forms for Goku and Vegeta, but Blue still gets used a lot and is a form that at least isn't forgotten about completely. So please do me a favor and respect Super Saiyan Blue.